Thank you for joining us at noon. I'm Anusha Roy. We want to start with an update about the shooting inside a former hotel that was turned into a shelter for Denver's unhoused. Denver police said that they have now arrested a man accused of first-degree murder. Denver police tell us they responded to a call at 11:40 last night. They said the shooting was inside that building. The woman is expected to survive. Now, this comes after two people were fatally shot at the same location less than 2 weeks ago, and security was increased at that point to include unarmed security guards. The city was also installing a badging system and surveillance cameras. The mayor's office said part of that plan also included staff performing weekly check-ins with each resident at the shelter. It is not clear how far they've gotten into that process. No arrests have been made in connection with those deaths. Aurora police are worried that there could be more victims after a business owner was arrested for sexual assault. Arbin Benduka ran a drug screening company called Aurora Employment Testing. It was previously called Whiz Quiz Employment Testing. Aurora police tell us last October, a woman reported that she had been assaulted at his business. Then investigators learned about two more incidents last year involving female victims. We want to give you another look at those business names. And again, police are worried that there could be more victims out there. If you have any information, you are asked to call Metro Denver Crime Stoppers at 720-913-STOP. We are getting a different view from the moments leading up to that massive bridge collapse in Baltimore. This is footage from a traffic camera on the interstate that was north of the Francis Scott Key Bridge. You can see the flashing lights near the top after the bridge was cleared of cars, and then it was right before the collapse. The search and recovery effort in Baltimore is now being called a salvage operation. Authorities believe the remains of two missing construction workers were recovered, and investigators continue their probe into how all of this happened in the first place. NBC's Jay Gray has the latest from Baltimore.
Well, a day after recovery teams identified two of the 6 missing victims of the collapse, divers have now been pulled from the water here. The conditions and debris just too dangerous. After searching areas they could, though, responders now believe the 4 men still missing are buried under the debris and won't be recovered until the salvage effort is underway. And that really can't begin until NTSB investigators finish their physical work on the scene. Yesterday, the NTSB team boarded the wrecked ship for the first time.
We were able to take a look at pier protection. We looked at some of the damage to the containers and certainly the bridge structure. Now we have a recorders group which is responsible for locating, retrieving, and downloading any recorder or recorded information that may relate to the accident. We do have the voyage data recorder.
NTSB teams are analyzing that data now. They will continue to interview the 21 crew members on board that ship. They say the entire investigation could take up to 2 years, but they do hope to have some preliminary results within the next few weeks. That's the latest from here in Baltimore. I'm Jay Gray. Back to you now.
Giving you a live look around Denver and the state right now. That is some blue skies and beautiful weather that we are looking forward to today. We've got Corey Reppenhagen with us today, and my goodness, it's going to be a gorgeous stretch of weather too. It's not just 1 or 2 days.
Yeah, it's looking like a pretty nice conditions here coming up for the Easter weekend with lots of sunshine and warm temperatures. A little bit of a bump in the road tomorrow, but we've got a great day shaping up here in downtown Denver right now with just a little bit of high clouds diffusing the sunlight just a little bit. Take a look outside at the web camera. You see what I mean by those diffused high clouds. Not direct sunlight, but we're getting those temperatures up there. It's 56 degrees already at Denver International Airport. Should have no problem reaching the low 60s as we go through the day today. Here's your forecast for Denver, getting up to about 63 degrees, and it should stay 60 degrees for a good portion of the day. Maybe clearing out, maybe get a little bit more direct sunlight just before sunset tonight. And there you see the slow cool down as we go through the day, or at least the evening. Here is your high temperature forecast for the rest of the state. Pretty mild conditions. A lot of us are seeing those mix of high clouds and sunshine today, but we've got a really nice one. I'll talk about what's coming up for the Easter weekend, which looks like it's going to be a real nice one coming up in just a little bit. Anusha?
All right, thanks so much for that, Corey. A helicopter crash in Fort Carson is under investigation right now. Law enforcement tell us it happened around 6:30 last night. This was during routine training. According to the Mountain Post, the helicopter was from the 4th Combat Aviation Brigade, 4th Infantry Division. 2 people were taken to the Evans Army Community Hospital with minor injuries. Guilty. That was the verdict for the truck driver who slammed into a car in Weld County. 5 people died in that crash. The driver was unlicensed with no insurance, and he tried to blame the trucking company that he was working for. Jesus Puebla said the company gave him a truck that didn't have working brakes. He was found guilty on all 10 counts after his truck crashed into a car while he was driving more than 70 miles an hour. It's been almost 2 years since the crash, and after the verdict, families said that they felt relieved. Puebla's sentencing is set for June. Colorado lawmakers are taking on social media giants this legislative session, and one of the bill sponsors said this is necessary to protect kids in our state. There are 2 parts to this bill. One is resources for families on the safest ways to use social media. The second would be asking social media giants like Meta to create pop-up alerts for kids under 18. So if anyone is younger than 18 and they spend at least an hour scrolling on social media, they would get an alert asking if they want to take a break and then talk about the dangers of social media use. If it's overnight between 10 p.m. and 6 a.m., you would be alerted more often. One of the bill sponsors said that it would be on the tech companies to create these pop-up alerts. The bill sponsors hopes companies will comply because it's relatively easy to check if they're not following through.
Heard all kinds of stories from kids and parents about being bullied on social media, about being, shamed on social media, body shamed, about being just being made to feel bad about themselves.
Right now, the Attorney General can't comment on specific legislation, but he did share he's long been worried about social media harming the physical and mental health of kids. In a statement, his office said he is committed to protecting kids' health, whether that's through litigation, such as the AG's federal lawsuit against Meta, or state or federal legislation. Our legal analyst said that the state does have some limited authority to regulate social media, but the scope of what the government can do will probably always be up for debate and discussion. Lawmakers are also hearing from lobbyists and big tech, including Meta, and did make some adjustments. The bill is moving forward at the Capitol. The man once known as a cryptocurrency whiz kid will be spending the next 25 years in prison. In November, Sam Bankman-Fried was found guilty of 7 counts of fraud and conspiracy. During the sentencing this morning, he apologized for his actions. Prosecutors say that he ran the FTX cryptocurrency exchange into the ground while lining his pockets, stealing to the tune of $8 billion from customers. Analysts call the FTX collapse one of the largest white-collar crimes of all time. The investigation is just starting after a person was injured and a strong odor evacuated a Frontier Airlines plane. This was a flight out of Charlotte to Orlando, and as a precaution, passengers were using the jet bridge and the emergency slides to evacuate the Airbus A321 plane. A passenger was hurt after a fall during that process. The FAA says it will investigate the incident. New season, new hope, and a new way to watch the Rockies without having to go downtown. And we are 120 days away from the Summer Olympics in Paris. The new details about the Olympic torch and where you can see it.